Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 7 p.m. on LA56.
Security is tight across much of France as law enforcement hunts down the two brothers accused in yesterday's terror attack in Paris.
A manhole cover shoots into the air, smashing into a car and injuring the driver. A Good Samaritan comes to the rescue.
Democratic California Senator Barbara Boxer set to retire. Her surprise announcement not to seek re-election. Good evening, I'm Michelle Tuesday.
And I'm David Ono. Welcome to Eyewitness News on LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7 p.m. It is early morning in France, and authorities are continuing their manhunt for the brothers accused in yesterday's deadly attack at a newspaper in Paris. The search comes amid stepped-up security on a national day of mourning. And Eyewitness News reporter Alex Michelson is following the latest developments live in the newsroom. Alex.
David, police wearing ski masks and armed with automatic weapons are going door to door in portions of France. They're called raid in France and are the equivalent of SWAT officers here in the U.S. Meanwhile, we're getting our first look inside the crime scene, and the picture that you're about to look at is hard to see.
This graphic photo shows the Charlie Hebdo magazine office after the attack. Eyewitness say it was a horrifying reality. 12 dead.
We tried to help the very first wounded, but actually, to be honest, there were not a lot of wounded. There were just people dead all around.
In Paris, the iconic Eiffel Tower dims its lights tonight to honor the victims. In New York, NASDAQ joins the worldwide chorus saying, "I am Charlie." In Washington, D.C., President Obama signs the condolence book at the French embassy with the message, "Terror is no match for freedom." Those allegedly responsible for all that bloodshed, Saeed and Sharif Kouachi, remain one step ahead of authorities.
We may be facing a new wave. It's probably not the end of a terror attack. We are ready to face it. We will fight.
Around 80,000 French officers are in Lampong, where the brothers were possibly spotted. SWAT teams are now searching a forest larger than Paris itself. This morning, they may have been seen at this gas station, the attendant there telling police that they had robbed him and stolen gas. Yesterday, Saeed Kouachi left his ID card inside the getaway car. Sharif, seen here in a rap video, was convicted in 2008 for being a part of a jihadist recruitment ring that sent fighters to Iraq. French officials believe that one of the brothers had visited Yemen and received training from al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. Both brothers were on the U.S. no-fly list because of their terror ties, but were apparently not considered worth tracking inside France.
I think France has a problem of too little capacity, too many threats.
Tens of thousands of members of the French military are now helping French police to guard the streets. Overnight, authorities arrested 9 people with possible ties to the suspects. Despite all that police activity, tens of thousands are taking to the streets in France and holding up pens supporting freedom of the press.
The freedom and the liberty of expression was in attack yesterday, and we will never agree with that. We want to fight this, and we're going to fight it. The freedom in France will never die.
President Obama spoke with top national security officials here in the U.S. today. The White House says there are no credible threats of copycat attacks here in the U.S. Reporting live from the newsroom, Alex Michelson, ABC7, Eyewitness News.
Alex, thank you. Meanwhile, the surviving staff members of Charlie Hebdo, the targeted paper, are vowing to publish a new issue next week, and they are planning to print 1 million copies as opposed to the usual 50,000. They aren't doing it alone. Designers, editors, proofreaders, and other staff from various magazines have all volunteered to help, as have multiple radio, television, and newspaper outlets.
Well, there have been rallies and vigils in support of the French across the country, including here in Southern California. Dozens gathered outside the French consulate in Century City this morning. They held signs with a phrase that translates to "I am Charlie," and paused for a moment of silence to remember those killed and injured.
In those moments, it's very important to feel that we're not alone and we're all supported by our friends.
We are going to continue to stand up behind our values, and we'll fight for them, and we'll fight those who want to destroy them.
20,000 French nationals are registered with the consulate, and keep it right here for continuing coverage of the terror attack in Paris and the ongoing effort to bring killers to justice. And we'll bring you any new details as they come in. You can also get the latest on our website, ABC7.com, and on Facebook and Twitter.
Democratic California Senator Barbara Boxer announces she will not seek re-election in 2016. The news came in the form of a video with her grandson posted on YouTube. The 74-year-old Boxer said her age was not a factor in her decision not to seek a fifth term, nor the rift among Senate members, and she says her work is far from over.
I'm going to continue working on the issues that I love. I'll have more time to help other people through my Pack for Change community. I have to make sure this Senate seat stays progressive. That is so critical. And I want to help our Democratic candidate for president.
For his part, LA Mayor Eric Garcetti said he will not run for Boxer's seat. Meanwhile, the California GOP called Senator Boxer's impending retirement, quote, a long overdue opportunity for change to California's representation in the Senate.
A man is driving in Van Nuys when suddenly a manhole cover explodes and flies into the car, injuring the driver. A Good Samaritan who stopped to help the driver says the victim's car literally went several feet into the air before landing back on the ground. Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia spoke with the Good Samaritan.
This is what the Toyota Prius looked like moments after the blast. Philip Castro sent these pictures to us through our ABC7 app. He tells me he was driving home from work around midnight, heading west on Sherman Way, right behind the Prius when he saw and heard the explosion. A manhole cover slammed into the bottom of the Prius.
The gentleman that was driving in front of me happened to hit it at the right moment that the bolt flew up and just made impact, and it was a really violent crash. The back of his car went airborne and they came crashing down. The good thing is the driver survived it.
Over the phone, the driver of the Prius told me all he remembers is waking up about 20 minutes after the blast, lying on the street, and seeing a bunch of people surrounding him. He says he's home from the hospital and in a lot of pain, but he didn't suffer any serious injuries. LADWP says the underground vault failed, but how it happened is still under investigation. There was an LADWP crew doing some work about a block away at the time of the blast.
He actually was able to crawl out of the car, which was a good sign, because that manhole cover is very heavy. It's concrete. For that thing to fly up in the air and then come crashing down could have been more catastrophic.
The driver of the Prius tells me he was wearing a seatbelt at the time of the blast. He says that's the reason why he survived. Reporting from Van Nuys, I'm Sid Garcia, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Thanks again to our eyewitness who tipped us off about that story. And remember, if you see news happening, let us know, and like he did, post on social media with the hashtag ABC7 Eyewitness or upload to the free ABC7 app.
Thousands of customers were left without power after a very large tree took down utility poles in Silver Lake. It happened about 6 this morning on Griffith Park Boulevard near Lyric Avenue. Luckily, no one was hurt and it didn't cause any damage to the nearby apartment building. Some residents say they were shocked out of bed.
I woke up to a massive whoosh. I thought there was a Santa Ana windstorm, and then it was followed quickly by some super loud cracking noises as the telephone poles plummeted to the ground.
And I walked out my front door. My reaction was just like, oh my goodness, because it's huge. It took up the whole street. It closed off. I can't even leave my driveway.
Crews spent the day removing the tree, and power was restored by 10 a.m.
All right, we had a beautiful day today, but it was cooler. Could something be up? Here's Jonathan Novak.
But, yes, there is. We have rain in the forecast, cooler weather in the forecast. Let's talk about it, Laguna Beach. Hey, nice sunset there, and some clouds that have rolled in through the day and tonight. Let's check out that live Mega Doppler 7000 HD. We are dry at the moment, but as we go through Saturday, Sunday, that could change. We'll detail that in the full forecast. Look at today's highs. We knocked off about 10 degrees or so from yesterday's highs. Santa Ana, 2 days ago, you were at 88. Burbank, you were at 85 yesterday, so we were 12 degrees cooler there. And in the Antelope Valley was around 67. So temperatures tonight are going to be generally cooler, but still above average. Right now, we're at 61 in Santa Monica, 62 Oxnard and Ojai, 54 Riverside. Cooler weather ahead. And again, I'm going to detail those rain chances in the 7 in a few minutes.
Okay, sounds good, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She was caught red-handed stuffing cash into her bra. A veteran school district accountant is sentenced today for stealing nearly $2 million from a school lunch program. Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan was in the courtroom.
She's the former school district accountant who embezzled at least $1.8 million in student lunch money. Today in court, as part of a plea deal, she was sentenced to 5 years in prison. She could only spend about half that time actually behind bars, but the prosecutor is pleased with the sentence.
She's going to be doing a substantial amount of custody time for somebody who's been living a lifestyle that's pretty lavish. I think spending a significant amount of time in jail, county prison, is not something that is desirable on her part.
Judith Oakes had worked for the Rialto Unified School District for 25 years, many of those years as an accountant. This is surveillance video of Oakes putting stacks and stacks of money into a blue bag bound for a school safe. But watch as she appears to stuff one of the wads of cash into her bra while no one was looking. In court today, a district official said she did this countless times over the years.
I should note that during the entire period of her employment, over $3 million are unaccounted for, and Ms. Oakes is believed to have stolen it.
Police told us that Oakes lived a lavish lifestyle with credit card bills around $10,000 to $12,000 a month.
She acknowledged that she had a moral crash.
Oakes' attorney says she's already paid back more than $330,000 of what she took.
Her first statement to me when I interviewed her was, "Thank God it's over."
So the judge has ordered that she pay everything back. Both sides have agreed that she will pay $150 a month as soon as she's out of jail. At that rate, it will take more than 800 years before everything is paid back. Rob McMillan, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
A bus driver goes flying through his windshield and somehow he wasn't badly hurt. Find out what happened next.
We ran into the back of a semi-truck, and he's not stopping, and our car is embedded underneath of it.
A semi-truck drags a family for miles in their minivan, their dramatic call for help.
2 celebrity passings tonight, a longtime actor and a Grammy-winning entertainer. I'm George Pinocchio. Details in tonight's Hollywood Wrap. Plus, she had a grand romance on national television. Now, months later, a bachelorette breakup? Next.
Caught on camera, a bus driver flying through a window after a crash. Amazingly, he suffered only minor injuries. He was just driving along, actually whistling, and you could hear it from the video. on board a camera on board, and he wasn't wearing his seatbelt, as you could probably guess. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a truck ran a red light, smashed into the bus, which hopped a curb and slammed into a post, sending that driver flying. No one else was on the bus. The driver of the truck wasn't seriously hurt either. All in all, very lucky, and another good reminder to always buckle up.
An unbelievable end to a Michigan family's vacation. Just miles from home, they frantically called 911 while their minivan was being dragged by a big rig.
We ran into the back of a semi-truck, and he's not stopping, and our car is embedded underneath of it.
The men's family rear-ended this semi and became lodged underneath the truck's trailer. That's when the wild ride began for the family of four.
He apparently didn't know that we were there, and before we knew it, he ended up dragging us for 16 miles. And I was on the phone with 911 for the whole time.
16 miles and 25 minutes later, authorities flagged the semi and pulled it over. The family was pulled safely from their minivan and treated for minor injuries. Poor visibility because of snow is to blame for the initial crash.
Wow. Well, one of the many reasons why we live in Southern California to avoid those nasty storms.
Yeah, visibility is always the number one when you have fog, the number one danger in terms of seeing wrecks and things like that. So whether it's snow or fog, you're going to have issues like that. Unfortunately, we have problems. For us, you know, visibility has been pretty much fantastic, and it's been sunny, it's been warm, it's been temperatures been in the upper 80s, near 90 degrees. We haven't seen winter, and we don't see temperatures for tomorrow getting in the cold category, but we're going to get down, I'd say, cool range. We're going to get there, and maybe some rain in the forecast too. So let's get to it. Live Meganopolis 7000 HD saw right there. There's nothing going on now, but maybe towards Saturday and Sunday. In the meantime, a few clouds rolled in today. All right, this is going to be the case as we go through tomorrow and into the weekend. Some more clouds rolling in, and temperatures will be dropping. Today, they did, but again, not winter. 75 was our high. Normally, we're at 68. We got to get down to the upper 60s to start feeling like it should for January. Right now in downtown, it is 63 degrees. Calm winds. A nice night. Again, a few clouds ahead, but no rain. Mild to cool weather, I'd say. 53 Palmdale, 62 Ojai, and 56 Santa Barbara. We head over to Palm Springs, 66, and Temecula's at 62 degrees right now. So this is, as you compare it to yesterday at this time, we're about 4 degrees cooler in Ontario than we were this time last night. Van Nuys about 7, 8 degrees cooler in Riverside. So depending on where you look, we could be anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees in terms of those temperatures dropping already. And as we go through tomorrow, we're going to knock off another 5 degrees off those temps as well. So we have this ridge of high pressure that's been in control of our weather. It's going to be breaking down over the next 24 hours because of this trough of low pressure moving in on the eastern Pacific. Now, Saturday and Sunday, we get a chance of rain, I should say, but for tomorrow, we'll keep things dry. Look at the future scan here. This brings you through Saturday, and then as Sunday comes around, the chance is actually about 30%. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's 30%. We'll take it. We could see a few showers from that on Sunday, and maybe an isolated shower on Saturday. For tomorrow, dry, cool in the morning, 51 Long Beach, 54 Inglewood and LA, and 39 in Palmdale. The highs tomorrow, again, we're going to cool it down, but by no means cool. 70 in Glendale, 70 Simi Valley and Fillmore, 69 Los Angeles. It's closer to the averages, but just not quite there yet. Your 7-day forecast does cool us down even more, though, for the weekend. Brings the clouds in on Saturday and Sunday with a chance of rain, 20% Saturday, 30% Sunday, and then we're dry from the rest of the forecast on Monday through Thursday. In fact, we have high pressure building in. We're back in the 70s next Tuesday, Wednesday. Valleys, IE, some clouds tomorrow, mild, 71, and then back to the upper 60s finally on Saturday and Sunday with a chance of rain. Dry and pleasant on Monday. A little breezy Tuesday, Wednesday. The winds are going to be kicking up as that high pressure builds in. Could see some Santa Anas there. And then the beaches looking good tomorrow, a few clouds. And then Saturday, Sunday, a few showers are possible with those clouds, 20%. The mountains, no snow, but maybe an isolated shower here and there as we go through the weekend. 40s for you in the upper 40s, and Saturday and Sunday for the high desert. An isolated shower for you as well, with temperatures dropping down to the upper 50s on Sunday. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Jonathan. In tonight's Hollywood Wrap, there's a breakup in the world of the Bachelorette.
Plus, Angelina Jolie meets the Pope. But first, news of 2 notable passings. Here's George Pinocchio.
Okay, thank you very much. If you're a fan of classic movies, chances are you've seen Rod Taylor's work. The longtime actor died today, just 3 days shy of his 85th birthday. Taylor made his feature film debut in the 1960 sci-fi film The Time Machine, an adaptation of the book by H.G. Wells. Another one of his famous films, the 1963 Alfred Hitchcock classic The Birds with Tippi Hedren. Other work included voicing the role of Pongo in 101 Dalmatians and starring alongside Doris Day in The Glass Bottom Boat. His last film role was in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds, playing Winston Churchill. Taylor's daughter says her father died of natural causes. There is also word tonight on the passing of music star Andre Crouch. The Grammy winner died this afternoon after being hospitalized in Northridge on Saturday. His family has not disclosed the cause. In his long career, Crouch won 7 Grammys, 6 Dove Awards, and he received an Oscar nomination for the original score for The Color Purple. Andre Crouch was 72. Actress and director Angelina Jolie has traveled the world and met dignitaries working as a special envoy for the United Nations. Today, she met the Pope. Jolie met with the pontiff briefly this morning after screening her film Unbroken to some Vatican officials and ambassadors. The Vatican says a few of Jolie's family members were also at the screening. Pope Francis himself did not watch the film. It's about Louis Zamperini, an Olympic track star who became a prisoner of war during World War II. Zamperini attributed his survival to his faith. The latest Bachelorette might want to consider giving the show another go. Andy Dorfman and Josh Murray have broken up. After working on their relationship for months, the two mutually agreed to end their engagement and part ways. In a joint statement, they say, "We are very sad that it has come to this point, but this is what's best for both of us individually. We will continue to be good friends and have nothing but great things to say about each other and wish each other the best." Finally, the AARP has announced its film awards for 2014. The group named The Theory of Everything, the movie about Stephen Hawking, as the Best Picture of the Year. Steve Carell took Best Actor honors for his work in the drama Foxcatcher, and Julianne Moore Best Actress for Still Alice, which opens next Friday. They'll get their awards at a gala on February 2nd. Getting the Lifetime Achievement Award at that gala is Kevin Costner.
All right.
I'm in shock over the Bachelorette breaking up.
That's all we're talking about.
Has that ever happened before?
I don't think so, David.
Okay. Thanks, George.
Still ahead, the search is on for 2 men who tried to buy a baby in a local grocery store.
A house fire destroys everything a Santa Ana family owns, but their dog survives. I'm Greg Lee. Coming up, we'll tell you how the community is helping.
And foie gras back on the menu at local restaurants. Why some say the fight is not over. It's a story of survival for an Orange County dog who was trapped when fire rushed through her home. Millie is alive today thanks to good luck and good fashion.
And some heroes are now helping her make a full recovery. Eyewitness News Orange County reporter Greg Lee introduces us.
This is what's left of a Santa Ana home after an electrical fire ripped through it Wednesday morning. Detective Jerry Verdugo was one of the first on scene. He took this photo.
If you look at the picture, it's just we have 40, 50 foot high flames, just extreme heat.
The fire destroyed everything, including a truck outside. It displaced 4 adults and 2 kids who were all fortunately not home. Verdugo ran through the flames to free this dog from its leash. Another dog was tied to the porch, but he thought it was too late.
Based on the heat and the intense flames, the dog was already dead.
But Melly, a Chihuahua, escaped the fire after it burned the rope holding her. She suffered 3rd-degree burns on her paws, burns on her sides and tail, and smoke inhalation. It could have been worse if not for the sweater she was wearing.
Was definitely subdued to the body and to the torso by having that sweater on. So truly, the sweater may have saved her life.
The family was relieved, but had no money to pay for Melly's medical care.
They told me they have no money, they have nothing, no way to pay for anything to be done.
The county shelter provided free care until the veterinarians at 17th Street Animal Hospital took over. They're going to nurse her back to health free of charge.
Obviously, this little pup means a lot to this lady, and we wanted to be able to help and not add the loss of her dog to that list of problems.
The animal hospital expects Millie to make a full recovery in 4 to 6 weeks. Reporting in Santa Ana, Greg Lee, ABC7, Eyewitness News.
And we are updating the evening's top stories next at 7:30.
Plus, 2 armed robbers wearing monkey and gorilla masks storm a local business. The whole thing caught on video.
Also, a special tribute to a victim in last year's Isla Vista shooting spree. The changes her father is now pushing for.
Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 7:30 p.m. on LA56.
Our top story at 7:30, the manhunt continues for the two brothers accused in yesterday's deadly terror attack in Paris. I'm David Ono.
I'm Michelle Tuzzi. This is Eyewitness News on LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7 p.m. The search comes amid stepped-up security on a national day of mourning. Around 80,000 French officers are looking for suspects. French officials believe one of the brothers visited Yemen and received training from Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. We're also getting a look at the Charlie Hebdo magazine office in the moments after the attack.
Democratic California Senator Barbara Boxer says she will not seek re-election in 2016. The unexpected news came in the form of a video with her grandson posted on YouTube. The 74-year-old Boxer said her age was not a factor in her decision not to seek a fifth term, nor the rift among Senate members.
A solemn tribute today for one of the victims of the Isla Vista shooting massacre last year. Eyewitness News reporter Miriam Hernandez explains Westlake High School honored alumna Veronica Weiss, one of several victims fatally shot by Elliot Rodger last year.
A standout on the water polo team and gifted in math, Veronica Weiss died a hero to her parents.
It just meant so much to her. The sisterhood, the families, the games, the road trips.
Today, as her number is retired from the Westlake High roster, Bob Weiss reaches out to all parents about an issue he never dreamed would hit his home. It was in Isla Vista last May. A troubled loner, Elliot Rodger, stabbed 3 roommates. Then, armed with 3 semi-automatic handguns, went on a shooting spree, killing Veronica and 2 of her UCSB sorority sisters. What angers Weiss, how easy it was to spray bullets with a 15-round magazine. He says 6 bullets that hit Veronica were non-lethal. The 7th killed her.
Her chances of surviving and the other girl's chances of getting out alive would have been a lot better if he only had half as many bullets. He fired off those bullets in 10 seconds. It's pop, 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 just like that.
Weiss wants limits on ammo and blames not gun owners, but NRA Chief Wayne LaPierre for standing in the way.
He sacrificed my daughter's rights for his gun privileges.
Weiss says the 6 Isla Vista deaths did resonate in Sacramento. A law was signed that would impose a 21-day weapons embargo on an individual such as Rodger, who is making threats to kill. Reform, says Weiss, must continue state by state. He has heard the naysayers, those who point out that the first 3 victims were stabbed, not shot. He believes Rodger had to kill them quietly to avoid being caught.
We think he may have drugged the boys and stabbed them while they were unconscious. That's what he wrote in his manifesto, that he was going to drug them.
What really riles him? Bloggers who claim the massacre never happened.
My daughter is dead. I've got her ashes at home. You can come over and take a look at them if you want.
It is why he's spreading the word.
If it can happen in Isla Vista or Aurora or Newtown, it can happen anywhere.
Miriam Hernandez, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Police in Covina say 2 men attempted to buy a baby for $100 at a grocery store on Citrus Avenue. The suspects were caught on surveillance video as they entered the Baja Ranch market yesterday. A woman says one of the men approached her and her 2-year-old child as they were checking out. They waited inside the store for the men to leave, and when they went outside, the man was next to her car and offered her $100 for the child. Police are still not sure what the men were after.
We always fear the worst. And, you know, who knows? But fortunately, the mom is very protective inside the store, inside taking the child to the car, putting the child into the car. So he never really had an opportunity to do anything beyond ask to purchase a kid.
The men could now be facing attempted human trafficking charges, and if you have any information, you're asked to call police.
California's ban on the sale of foie gras has been overturned, and restaurants are quickly gearing up for the return of the French delicacy to their menus. As Eyewitness News reporter Robert Olguin tells us, the controversy over foie gras has returned as well.
For the first time in more than 2 years, Chef Holly Given is preparing to serve foie gras.
So that's a liver.
Yep. Given is the culinary chef at the Bazaar restaurant in Beverly Hills. She says foie gras will be on the menu tonight.
Foie gras has this delicious, buttery, whipped
texture, when made properly, it's just, there's not really anything that you can compare it to.
But in Hermosa Beach, a protest by animal rights advocates outraged that California's ban on foie gras has been overturned.
It is absolutely inexcusable.
Matt Bruce says the goose or duck livers come from animals that are abused.
Ducks and geese are still having pipes rammed down their throats, and they're force-fed 3 times daily.
The protesters gathered outside Hot's Kitchen, which also plans to serve the dish.
It's a long fight that we all fought, and it was well worth it.
A federal judge ruled on Wednesday that the state's ban is unconstitutional because it interferes with a federal law that regulates poultry.
It's an easy target, and it's easy to vilify a product that you don't really understand.
Steve Grandjean runs Gourmet Imports out of Alhambra. He says he will once again start supplying LA's top restaurants with foie gras. There's a lot of propaganda about foie gras.
I think that there's been just a lot of misinformation.
Celebrity chef Ludovic Lefebvre says the state's ban was hypocritical.
Let's go talk about fast food. Nobody's doing nothing about fast food. Why?
Chef Ludo says he's excited to once again share the delicacy with his customers.
When people at the restaurant order foie gras, I think they feel like me exactly when I was in France. It's something very special you order,
As you saw, there are several local restaurants already have it on their menu. Chef Ludo says he plans to have it at his 2 restaurants by tomorrow. Animal rights activists say they plan to take their fight to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. Reporting from Hollywood, Robert Olguin, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
A bizarre armed robbery in the Fairfax district with the thieves wearing monkey masks. This is surveillance video just into Eyewitness News. Police got the call just before 1 o'clock this afternoon from a sneaker store on Melrose. They say 2 people, as you can see, wearing monkey masks and armed with handguns, stole boxes of shoes, then took off in a late model Nissan. They're still at large. No one was injured during the holdup.
Search is underway for a brazen armed robber who may be targeting jewelry stores here in Southern California. The latest heist happened last night at the Kevin Jewelers in the Northridge Fashion Center. It was all caught on surveillance video. The man pulls a gun on the clerk as she shows him some merchandise. She then hands him the jewelry and he walks out the store. The suspect is described as a white man in his 50s, 5'6", 160 pounds, clean-shaven with gray hair.
This individual, has displayed basically no fear to walk up and demand, high dollar items and then walk away. Yes, he does cause us some concern.
Police believe the same man pulled off a similar heist at the Tyler Gallery at Kevin Jewelers in Riverside back in September. If you have any information, you're urged to call the LAPD at 1-877-LAPD-24/7.
LA County labor unions join an employee boycott of the El Supermarket chain. The workers have been without a contract for 15 months. The company implemented its final offer in September. It's the first major grocery boycott by the LA County Federation of Labor in more than a decade.
El Super continues to create poverty-level jobs in our communities, and that needs to stop immediately. We are merely seeking basic standards that we have achieved for tens of thousands of grocery workers throughout LA County.
This response from El Super following these protracted and deadlocked negotiations. El Super exercised its right to implement its last, best, and final offer to provide our employees with well-deserved wage increases, among other benefits.
JCPenney is closing 40 stores as the chain seeks to deal with financial issues. None of the closures are here in California. The stores represent about 4% of its more than 1,000 locations. JCPenney has been struggling to turn around its business after recent ventures from a former CEO alienated shoppers and sent sales plunging.
The compliance deadline for a New York City clinic where Joan Rivers suffered a fatal medical complication has been postponed. The Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services postponed the date for Yorkville endoscopy because the federal agency's final report is not ready. The clinic had until yesterday to correct errors, including failing to identify deteriorating vital signs and providing timely intervention. Rivers died in September from brain damage due to lack of oxygen after she stopped breathing during this endoscopy.
Still ahead, new information on the measles outbreak in Southern California.
Plus, 8 days into 2015, we have some tips to keeping your New Year's resolution.
And the temperatures will fall, the rain chances will rise in your 7-day forecast. Details ahead. Stick around.
covering Oxnard, Long Beach, Corona, and all of Southern California. This is Eyewitness News.
There are now 2 more confirmed cases of measles in California. The Orange County Healthcare Agency says that brings the number up to 9. There are also several unconfirmed but suspected cases. The one thing in common, all were at the Disneyland resorts in mid-December. None of the infected were vaccinated. Officials say maintaining high vaccination rates is vital to preventing outbreaks of disease in our community. If you have symptoms of high fever or unexplained rash, you should contact your health provider.
State health experts are bracing for a possible onslaught of flu cases and are urging people who have not yet gotten a flu shot to get one. Many people went to the Capitol today for a free flu shot. Health experts say after people traveled for the holidays, they return to their state and can bring the flu with them. Flu season ends in late February or March in California. The elderly and pregnant women are urged to get the vaccination because they are more vulnerable to dangerous complications from this virus.
If you have allergies, have you ever noticed they seem to be the worst when you first wake up? As health specialist Denise Dodor reports, there is a good explanation for that.
Just like that.
A deep breath like this first thing in the morning would be nearly impossible for allergy sufferer Melissa Ivancho.
I wake up with a stuffy nose and runny nose and just have tissues on my nightstand. It's common for a lot of people to have worsening allergy symptoms in the morning.
The reason? Allergy symptoms have an early and late phase. Dr. Katie Marks-Kogan says people react to the onslaught of allergens right when they wake and then also endure another misery-filled immune response which had been building while they slept. Her first piece of advice?
See an allergist and find out what specifically they're allergic to.
Then you can take the proper action. If it's dust mites, invest in allergy-proof mattress and pillow covers. Vacuum consistently and wash linens in hot water once a week. If it's pollen, close windows at night and run a HEPA filter. If it's pet dander,
really having pets not sleep in the bedroom is very important.
Melissa moved your dog out of the bedroom.
You got to do what you got to do. You have to change what you can in your environment to experience a difference.
To get early morning relief, Melissa uses over-the-counter antihistamines and prescription nasal sprays. A nasal wash with saline water can also make a difference. Also, she just started getting allergy shots.
It takes time, but in the end, it's the closest thing we have to a cure, and it really can help a lot of patients.
After years of suffering, Melissa's finally glad to get some relief.
Even though I'm still so new in the process, I'm already experiencing the benefits. And I just wish that I hadn't waited so long.
Expect a change in the weather. We'll check in with meteorologist Jonathan Novak coming up next.
And coming up in sports, Clippers owner Steve Ballmer shows off his dance moves during last night's game against the Lakers. Did his players approve of his performance? I'll check out the weather now with Jonathan Novak. As much as the country's in a deep freeze, we're sitting pretty.
Yes, they are. Yeah, I know. You kind of feel bad for a second.
Yeah.
High today actually did cool down, but 75, LA.
Nice.
Still, January, 75 degrees. We're above average. That's by about 8 degrees or so. Tomorrow, getting closer to the upper 60s where we should be. So if you're saying, like me, like I am, hey, where's winter? Well, it's coming. Tomorrow we'll have those winter-like weather temperatures around the area. Today, those 75 in Santa Ana. By the way, Santa Ana 2 days ago, 88. So we've had that steady cool down here. Burbank 73 today, yesterday 85. So 12-degree drop for you. And right now, Burbank is at 63. You stand with some nice mild temperatures this evening. All right, let's head over to the mountains. Big Bear's 36 at the moment. Calm winds. Winds aren't an issue in the forecast until late in the game. I'll show you that in the 7-day. Temperatures, cloud cover, rain. Those are the three things we're watching the next few days because we're going to be increasing the clouds and the rain chances and bringing these numbers down from Friday on through the weekend. 63 in Van Nuys and 62 Ontario, 63 downtown Los Angeles, and at the coast, Long Beach, 61 degrees at the moment. There's an area of low pressure to our south. The moisture with it hanging steady with that area of low pressure to the south of us, and that's going to move away. So we're not going to see any of that rain move into Southern California, at least not into the LA area. So that is not so much of a player in our weather pattern. What is off to the west of us, this trough of low pressure right here on the left of your screen. And that digs in, it weakens the high pressure that has been our weather influencer over the last couple of days, and that means cooler weather and onshore flow and an increase in clouds and rain chances. The future scan shows you here, so bring it through Friday. Friday's going to have a mix of sun and clouds, maybe a little snow up in the Sierra there. We'll see how that plays out, but nothing for our area locally. Saturday, maybe a light shower. The chance is only 20%. It's Sunday. We're watching as a system moves through from west to east right over Southern California. This is 4 p.m. on Sunday. Chance of rain, 30%. This has been going back and forth. The model runs have been a little inconclusive or indecisive, I should say, with this particular system, but at the moment it does appear we'll get hopefully, and looks like a few showers out of that. So I'm going with 30% on Sunday. 54 tomorrow morning in LA, 53 Pasadena, 49 Santa Clarita. A cool morning, but not cold, not very cold. And then tomorrow afternoon we've got temperatures still around 70 degrees from Fillmore to Simi Valley, Santa Clarita, and Northridge as a popular number. Pasadena, Covina, all with 70 degrees. LA should get right near there with 69, 64 at the coast around Huntington Beach down to Dana Point. That 7-day forecast for LA Metro and Orange County. There it is, powered up by AccuWeather. We go through the weekend, temperatures drop even more, just a little bit. The clouds are increasing. We've got a slight chance of rain on Saturday, a better chance of rain on Sunday. Then next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're back into the 70s with breezy conditions for LA and the valleys, i.e. So the 7-day for LA, for the valleys, I should say, for tomorrow, 71, upper 60s Saturday and Sunday. A chance of showers is in there. Not incredibly high for those chances, but we'll take what we can get, right? So the beaches are looking pretty good for tomorrow, but rain chance for you as well. 20% on Saturday and Sunday, back to 70 degrees by next Wednesday. The mountains, if we get any precipitation, it won't be snow. It would be some light rain on Saturday, Sunday. Chances 20%. Same for the high desert, a slim risk for a few showers for you as well. That's it for me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Jonathan.
You're welcome.
Today, the U.S. Olympic Committee bypassed Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C. Instead, they have picked Boston as the U.S. city with the best chance of hosting the 2024 Summer Games. Boston will make its pitch with numerous other cities in the world over the next 2 years. In 2017, the International Olympic Committee will make its decision on who will actually host the Games. Former FBI Director Robert Mueller released a 96-page report today detailing his investigation of the NFL's handling of the Ray Rice incident, and he concluded that no one from the NFL saw the inside elevator video until it was publicly shown. However, he did say the NFL should have done more to properly investigate this incident. And don't forget, on January 12th, the first ever college football playoff will be decided when Ohio State and Oregon square off. You can catch the game on ESPN or your Watch ESPN app, live from Arlington, Texas. The Clippers may have beaten the Lakers by 25 points last night, but the buzz today was about owner Steve Ballmer and what happened between the first and second quarter last night. That's when Fergie took to the court and sang her new single, L.A. Love, while the hardwood was covered with dancers. The fans loved it, and so did the Clippers owner. After the game, there was a post-game critique of his dancing ability.
No comment. No comment. Our relationship is too new. I'll put it this way. He danced exactly how I expected.
Did you happen to catch Steve Ballmer dancing on the sideline?
Maybe. I think it's cool, you know, like seriously, like to see how much fun he's having. I think our fans feed off that. And what you think, Matty?
You can't have everything. You can't have money and moves. So you gotta. I think he made a choice.
I'm out.
Pretty good. Love the dancing or not. Ballmer's energy and enthusiasm is certainly a crowd pleaser and is providing a whole new experience for Clippers fans. And watch out, Lakers fans. It just might be contagious.
The player reaction was really funny.
Yeah.
More news straight ahead here at 7:30 and tonight on Eyewitness News at 11. Dog nap, 2 puppies are snatched, the FedEx guy caught on camera. And Viola Davis speaks out about her wildly successful ABC hit, How to Get Away with Murder, and what's next for the popular show. These stories and all the late-breaking news on Southern California's #1 late newscast, Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7. Chinese New Year celebration is a little more than a month away, and we are getting our first look at the 16 finalists for this year's Miss Los Angeles Chinatown pageant. The winner will be crowned on February 7th. The 2015 Queen will get to participate in the 116th annual Golden Dragon Parade on February 21st. The Chinese community is the largest of the Asian communities in Southern California.
45% of Americans make New Year's resolutions. The top one, of course, is losing weight, but only 8% of us actually follow through.
So what does it take to stay on track? Our food and fitness coach Lori Corbin has some tips from the pros.
The ball drops, the cheering stops. Then we steel ourselves for our resolutions. Weight loss is the top resolve, but you might need help.
They're not going to lose it in one day. It's a process. You know, I tell people when they come here, be ready to work for months at a time, possibly a year, but it's not going to happen within a month.
Instructor Brian Lucas also says mix it up. Repeating the same performance delivers the same results.
You are going to plateau very quickly. So you will see some results. They might be drastic results, but eventually you will stop seeing results and continuously look the same. So change is very big when it comes to fitness.
Study after study shows that weight training is one of the best things you can do for losing weight, even more than cardio. Surprisingly, it really helps your midsection. But don't discount cardio altogether. The experts say you want to interval train.
It's a combination of cardio, abs, and weightlifting all in one.
Another tip, do something you love.
I think it's enjoyable and fun and important to ride in a pack. So people who are once strangers, they walk in the door and they know each other and they hold accountability to each other.
Lisa Natali, a beat bike instructor and leader of her pack, coaches, dances, even makes you think a bit.
Favorite word in the English dictionary. It's a short one. 3 letters. Y-E-S.
Student Shay Taylor's fiance introduced him to beat bike in August. Now 20 pounds lighter, he says he's found religion.
If anyone asks me what church I go to, I would say beat bike. Because every time I leave, I feel safe.
Rabbi John Hanisch agrees. He's down 50 pounds and feels that fitness should be part of a whole body.
I always speak to my congregation about mind, body, spirit, caring for people's bodies and helping them with their minds and their spirits and bringing it together, all with good music and, in a short period of time every day.
Activity trackers, even motivating music can help keep you on your game. Experts remind us it takes 21 days to create a habit, so let's get busy. Lori Corbin, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Time to hit the gym. Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 7:30 on LA56.
Eyewitness News continues at 11 p.m. on ABC7 and anytime on ABC7.com. And remember, you can get your news 24 hours a day by following us on Facebook and Twitter.
Good night.
This is ABC7 Weather.
Hey folks, Jonathan Novak here. We have a couple